Southwest looks to have solved their scheduling issue, but what's next for the airline? Coming up here on The Job. Hi folks, Alex Klingelhoeffer here with Exencial Wealth Advisors. It is 9:38 here in the middle part of the country on Thursday. It is December 29th, 2022. Last jog of the year. Let's go around the economic headlines of the world, shall we? Let's start off in Poland, where the Poles are set to not make their European oil pledge, right? They were going to stop importing Russian oil by the end of the year. Looks like that's not going to happen. They're still going to import about 500,000 tons or 100,000 barrels per day for the next month from Russia. So much for European solidarity on this issue. Now you might say, Alex, why do you care so much about European energy? It's halfway around the world and quite frankly doesn't have that much an effect on the US stock market. That might have been the case 2 years ago. It might have been the case 5 years ago. It might have been the case under a different regime. Folks, geopolitics didn't matter for the last 30 years. It didn't matter. Everything was safe. You could transport whatever you want, wherever you wanted. There were no multipolar worlds. It was one. It was American hegemony. That is changing. Over the next 3 to 5 years, we will see vast reshoring here to the U.S. We will see vast amounts of energy starting to be traded not in dollars, but in gold and yuan. What does this mean? This means we need to start looking at the world through a fractured lens. And we need to start looking at different microcosms, different microclimates, much like you might find in San Francisco. It is no longer one global economic system. We are going into a number of different systems, and that will be a defining characteristic in why we are investing how we invest over the next 5 years. That is very positive for the U.S., not so positive for other parts of the world, and certainly we are adjusting allocations accordingly. Let's talk about the U.S. weekly jobless claims number, because we sort of haven't seen any regression here. We see more and more jobless claims just slowly ticking higher. Of course, we hit historical lows just a few months ago. Listen, the job market continues to be very tight. We're going to need some additional immigration. It's one thing that it's interesting. It's sort of a third rail in Congress. No one wants to touch the immigration issue from a substantive point of view. Here's the deal. We are losing something like 400,000 workers to retirement minus people coming into the workforce every single year. So if you have 10,000 unskilled Gen Zers coming into the workforce and 10,000 baby boomers leaving the workforce, that's not so good, right? It means that we are seeing a brain drain to areas that people are just retiring. What does this mean on a go-forward basis? It means we do need some substantial immigration reform. That is something that I think needs to be on the table for Congress, although right now, with this sort of bifurcated Congress, I don't see it happening. Last but not least, let's talk about Southwest. All right, we said off the top, they have really solved their flight issue. Only have 29 or so flight cancellations for Friday. About 5,000 flight cancellations. About 58% of their flights are canceled today. Not so good. It looks like they've rebooted and restarted their scheduling system, which runs on an IBM mainframe from the 90s. Let's see some CapEx into Southwest. They're still a great company. The company's down about 11% since this whole debacle came about. They need to build up some goodwill, but ultimately, they were a low-cost carrier anyway. People fly them for prices, not for convenience, not for ultimately having the best reliability. If you want some additional info throughout the week, throughout the year, hey, it's 2023. Next time I'll see you, feel free to find me on the internet. I am out there. Till then, you and your family have a wonderful New Year's. I'm out.